Hello and welcome. You're watching the fresh and new edition of this new show called Daily Calls. This is the show where every afternoon we will be taking up your queries as far as stocks are concerned. We will have a live stock market expert analyze your own stock query and give you an immediate answer to your queries as well. So this is the show where you can send us anything and everything about any stock holding of yours in your portfolio, wherever you're getting stuck in this current setup of the market, where you're making profits, where you're making losses, what exactly should you be doing? Everything will be addressed on this show. How do you send us all of those queries? Well, you can send it to us via this YouTube live where you are seeing. Mention it on the comment section. You can also send us your queries across our social media platforms, that's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn as well. You can also send us your queries. That will be the best platform, will be WhatsApp number which is flashing on your screens, wherein you can send in your name, your location, your question and also your own contact details so that we can call you back and take your questions every day at 12 noon with our expert on this show as well. So before we get started on your queries for today, let's start off with the top headlines we're tracking for you this hour. The price of the precious yellow metal continues to rally above 75,000 rupees as tensions in the Middle East escalate. Investors are moving towards safe havens. The gold has surged almost 20% since mid-February. Geopolitical tensions are grappling Indian equity markets. It was a bloodbath in the morning trade when we did see the Sensex and the Nifty crashing across the markets. A sell-off was seen, but right now the markets are recovering from the lowest points. Right, 0.5% of decline still continues on the Nifty as it hovers around 22,382 odd mark. Sectorally, barring the oil and gas and the metals, rest of the sectors are still into the red. Baiju CEO Arjun Mohan has resigned from his position, following which founder Baiju Ravindran will take over daily operational responsibilities. Arjun, who took over the position just 7 months ago, will transition to an external advisory role. Vedanta shares rise over 1% amid plans to secure 3,900 to 4,000 odd crore rupees of funding from Power Finance Company. Reports also indicate the company has arranged a rupee term loan facility of at least 3,918 crores, potentially reaching 4,000 crores. The stock markets at this time, almost half day is over. At half time mark, you can actually see a 0.5% decline coming in on the Nifty. About a 0.6% of a fall is what you can spot. 22,381 is what the Nifty is hovering at. The top losers at this point also include a whole host of Adani group of stocks. So Adani Enterprises, Adani Ports, Apollo Hospitals, Asian Paints, Axis Bank. These are the stocks that are declining the most in trade as far as the Nifty is concerned. Among the sectors where the where the pain point is emerging at this point in time is the media index, that's down by 1.8%. PSU banks, that's down by about 1.3% odd. It's the small caps and the mid caps that are also facing the brunt of the trade today, and of course are down by over 1% each. IT, FMCG, financial services are also declining in trade. On the flip side, it's the oil and gas and the metal space. The commodity space is red hot. You can actually see a percent uptick on both the Nifty oil and gas and the Nifty metal index as of now. So these two are the saving grace, and among them you can see ONGC, that's climbing now at the day's high level, 4.8% higher in trade. Along with it, you can also see Oil India, NMDC, GAIL, HAL and also NTPC. These are the stocks that are buzzing in trade among the PSU pack. And you can also see in the F&O space a whole host of other stocks like Exide Batteries that are continuously in the green, and about 4.5% uptick can be seen on this one. Along with this, Hindalco, Nalco, Vodafone, Gujarat Gas, these are some of the other buzzers at this point in time. Let's now welcome our guest on the show. Shivangi Sardana joins in. She's the technicals and derivatives analyst at Motilal Oswal Financial Services. Shivangi, good to have you with us. But the day is actually looking pretty volatile for the markets. As far as the investors are concerned, they are getting into the nerves as to what does this really mean, because so far we were enjoying the upward run in the markets, the pre-election rally, and suddenly we have the geopolitical markets really impacting the sentiment. Technically, how do you see the markets really poised in? Is it just going to be a knee-jerk reaction and then the buying will also start again?
Me on the show, have seen that, in the last 4 weeks, there has been a 1,000 point rally, and bulls have been in action in any small declines. Even today, we've seen that after the global concerns, the market did open on a negative note, but then after, we have seen a strong support based buying. Nifty is still holding its 50 daily exponential moving average. And we've seen that, buying can be seen in the last 2 hours. Of course, volatility is visible within a swing. But then again, we have seen that, the India VIX has, still not given any panic signal. It is roundabout at 12.5 odd levels. But then again, the panic level would start after 15 levels. So clearly, there is no signs of concern. Any small declines could be still bought for the Nifty index, and we've seen more momentum over here than in the banking index on account of a lot of heavyweights performing. So we are looking at 22,500 and then the immediate lifetime high levels for Nifty per se, with a crucial make or break zone at 22 levels. So this would be the strategy for Nifty. Now, talking about Bank Nifty, we have seen that there has been a clear underperformance from series, but recently this index also touched a new lifetime high levels, and private banks are clearly supporting the move. Even though today we are seeing that they are on a little bit of a back foot, profit booking decline cannot be ruled out, but overall the structure remains positive to intact. And we are expecting 48,500 immediately on the banking index with a crucial support of 47,750 levels.
So that's as far as the Nifty and the Nifty Bank is concerned. Straight on to the queries that we have been receiving. A lot of questions also coming in on this live, Shivangi. So let me take the first question from there, and then we have all the callers lined up to give you all their questions. The first question is coming in on our YouTube channel, and that is Irfan Fayaz, who's asked you, should I buy HUL or not? Remember, HUL is something that has actually disappointed investors for the last not just 1 year, but even 2 or 3 years. If you see the kind of trajectory that Hindustan Unilever has shown is actually very, very disappointing. Even today, it's down by about 1.7% odd levels. FMCG space has been a big laggard, and the poster boy HUL as well. How would you really advise, Irfan Fayaz on this query?
So, rightly pointed, Sakshi, we've seen that HUL is down by, 18% this year itself in a matter of, 4 months. Uh, we have seen that FMCG has been a laggard. You can talk about, Hindustan Unilever or Kolpal for that matter. And we've seen that there has been, clearly the momentum is missing in these pockets. So, FMCG is not one sector which is an outperformer this year. And if we are to enter, we should look for the momentum stock and focus on those which are in the limelight.
Okay, which are in the limelight. Would you like to give an alternative to Irfan? Where exactly can he be looking at in case he's interested in the FMCG players?
Absolutely. So, talking about sector specific, banking sector is looking quite positive. We talk about the PSU as well as the private bank. These are the pockets which are looking quite nice. We are also looking at auto stocks, which have been an outperformer clearly this year. And, we have seen the outperformance which had started from, November last year. So these are the stocks which are looking quite nice. And then we have some of the defense names also which are on the
Maybe give
radar.
him one name that he can look at, Shivangi, where you were looking at positive charts.
Okay, so talking about stock specific action, we can look at HAL. This stock has given a Poland flag pattern formation breakout on the daily frame, and we've seen that excellent volumes are being added from the last two sessions despite the market volatility. It surpassed its previous hurdle zones, and we've seen that this stock specifically has seen over 15% open interest addition on the long side. So
Hmm.
overall, the stock looks quite positive, and we are looking for a target of near about 3,700 on an immediate basis with a stop near 3,500.
Okay, immediate targets 3,700. Irfan ji, please go ahead and look at HAL instead of HUL. HAL is a defense player, HUL is an FMCG player. Go for Hindustan Aeronautics, as technically this stock really looks positive, as well as fundamentally this stock has really performed over the last few quarters, and you can look at the historical performance of this company as well as some of the other independent reports that you can take in from your experts too. Let's go across to our next caller. The next caller that we have is Shubham Butts from Rishikesh. Good afternoon, Shubham. Thank you for calling in. Give us your question.
हेलो
Yes, Shubham, go on. Tell us.
गुड आफ्टरनून मैम मैं ऋषिकेश ऋषिकेश से शुभम वर्ष बोल। मैम मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है कि अडानी ग्रुप में 3 से 6 महीने के लिए ऐसे कौन से स्टॉक्स होंगे जिसमें मैं इन्वेस्ट कर सकता हूँ।
ओके, अच्छा सवाल है आपका। शिवांगी, ये बताइए कि शुभम पूछना चाह रहे हैं आपसे, अगले 3 से 6 महीने का नजरिया है और अदानी स्टॉक्स में ही कहीं निवेश करना चाह रहे हैं। टेक्निकली कोई ऐसा स्टॉक, कोई ऐसा चार्ट जो कि आपको बहुत पॉजिटिव लग रहा है अगले 6 महीने के नजरिए से अदानी स्टॉक्स में?
Sakshi, Adani group of stocks is something that we do not track because of the continuous volatility.
ओके,
पर अगर हम दूसरे हैवी वेट्स के बात करें तो यहाँ पे एल एक ऐसा स्टॉक है जो काफी पॉजिटिव लग रहा है और अपने क्रूशल सपोर्ट जोन्स पे आके वापस रिवर्सल की साइंस दिखा रहा है. सो दिस इज वन स्टॉक व्हिच वी कैन लुक आउट फॉर.
ओके, अदानी समूह पे शुभम जी, हमारे गेस्ट आपको अभी नहीं व्यू दे पाएंगे, लेकिन अगर आप किसी दिग्गज स्टॉक के ऊपर देखना चाहेंगे तो एल एक उनको पसंदीदा स्टॉक नजर आ रहा है जहां पर आप निवेश कर सकते हैं। अगले सवाल की तरफ बढ़ते हैं। आवर नेक्स्ट कॉलर इज गोइंग टू बी मेहुल जैन। सो विल जस्ट वेट फॉर मेहुल टू कनेक्ट विद अस। मेहुल, आर यू विद अस? Okay, we'll try and connect with Mehul Jain in the bit. But you did talk about L&T, Shivangi. So do tell us, the infrastructure theme has been something that has been one of the wealth creating themes for the investors over the last period of 5 to 10 years, when the government has been pushing forward for infrastructure projects. And even in the BJP manifesto, we have seen that they are pushing big on infrastructure going forward from here. Come what may, whichever party really comes to power, is infra theme looking positive to you, led by L&T? Are there other smaller players as well that you would like to add to this name?
Absolutely. So we have seen that the market is, somewhere or the other discounting the election results, and infrastructure pocket is something which is looking quite positive. And now talking about stock specific action, Sobha is one stock from the reality space, which is near about connected, which is looking quite positive. And L&T being a heavyweight is, of course, a safer haven. But then again, Sobha is also, a stock which is quite positive, and we are, seeing that there has been a slight dip over here, which makes it a perfect, risk reward ratio scenario wise. So we are looking at this stock for a, target of 1650 level.
Okay, got that. Our next caller is with us, Mehul Jain. We were waiting for Mehul Jain to connect. Mehul, good morning to you. Go on, tell us your question. Shivangi can hear you. You can ask her directly.
मैम इज इट राइट टाइम टू इन्वेस्ट इन टीसीएस और एनी अदर आईटी स्टॉक।
Good question, Mehul, because this is very, very timely. TCS has reacted to its earnings today. It gave positive ticks after those earnings as well, and IT will be in flavor this entire week. We will also have Infosys, and then later on HCL Technologies also reporting the numbers. Go on, tell us, Shivangi, is TCS something that you are keeping on your radar now? Of course, IT has been a laggard, but with the kind of earnings coming about, is that giving you some positive signal?
Has been a laggard from a long time, and we've seen series on series underperformance here. But then again, the mid cap IT was holding up to the higher zones. Uh, again, we are seeing some sort of consolidation in TCS, but then again, it is not holding at its higher zones. Even today, we saw that it failed to hold above 4,000 levels. So I would definitely, recommend a wait and watch over here, because now the stronger names that are the mid cap IT names are also giving up some of the strength. So of course, the earning seasons will, pan out to be quite volatile for these IT stocks, which we do see every time. But then again, we would recommend a wait and watch over here.
Wait and watch over here is recommended as far as TCS is concerned. Let's also wait for our other guest, other caller to also join in. The next caller I'm getting is from Bengaluru, and Seema Parihar is going to be joining us with her next question. Meanwhile, Shivangi, could you also tell us that, so far, since we've been discussing IT space, it's the mid-cap IT space that has really outperformed. Are there any interesting names in the mid-cap IT space that you'd like to highlight for our viewers that continue to give you promise on the technicals?
So, like I said, that mid-cap IT have, outperformed, but now they are showing some signs of, giving up their strength. So we would again, recommend a wait and watch over here. Uh, w- on the contrary, we are looking at, some of the exchange-related counters, like CDSL, MCX, or BSC. These are some of the pockets which are looking quite positive, on the contrary for IT stock.
Got that. We are getting some more questions on our YouTube platform. I'd like to take that first. KD Pradhan is asked you the question. I have bought Suzlon about 30,000 shares at 36 rupees. That's what Shivangi he has bought. The other stock that he has bought is Servo Tech Power. Here he has bought 2000 shares at the price of 87 rupees. On both of these stocks, he has asked you a question as to what should be his next step. Should he continue to hold on to both of these stocks? So for Suzlon, he's bought at 36. He is in profits, 41 rupees can be seen currently. On Servo Tech Power, he has bought at 87. There is a dip. Again, the stock has dipped about 3.8% today. So the stock is somewhere around 85, 85.7 odd levels. Do you track these two stocks, Shivangi, and what would your advice be to KD Pradhan?
Uh, these are the names which are quite volatile. That, we've seen in the last few months.
Yeah.
And, technically speaking, Suzlon has given quite a lot of, good returns over the last 2 years. And even, this year, the stock is, up by another 10%. We are looking at a little bit more of a upside over here, around about 45 levels over here. But then again, a strict stop loss should be maintained here. Also, these are stocks which are highly volatile, so recommending a very strict stop loss to be maintained to avoid capital erosion.
Okay, got that. I hope that answers your question, Mr. Pradhan. Let's get our next caller in. Seema Parihar has called in. Seema, very good afternoon to you. Good morning to you. You are calling in from Bengaluru, right?
Hello, yes, hello, ma'am. Can you
Hi,
suggest
Seema.
ma'am,
Tell us.
can you suggest some stocks which will gain on election results?
Any election results kind of stocks? Okay, that's an interesting query. Shivangi, we do know that, we do not track any stocks that move as far as elections are concerned. But is there any theme that is a hot running theme amid these, few months or like 1 or 2 months or election fever when it is in the top gear? How would you really look at some of the stocks, or maybe something that you can immediately talk about in the short to medium term that Seema can really look at?
Yes, so talking about short to medium term stocks which are looking quite positive would be,
Yeah.
L&T and BSC. These
Hmm.
are the two stocks which are looking, like a good risk reward at these levels, and also these stocks have stabilized at higher zones and are, set to, move in a fresh leg of rally. So not election specific, but then again, these two stocks are technically looking quite sound.
Okay, got that. So that's the question that we are receiving from Seema. But of course, no election-related stocks. But L&T and BSC is where Shivangi is looking at promise as well at this point in time. All right, let's again move on. Let's discuss another query. I think the other caller that's joining in is from Mumbai, and Ritika Gupta. We're waiting for Ritika Gupta to connect with us pretty shortly, and we will be checking with her as to what her query is. Meanwhile, is power theme something that you are looking at, Shivangi? This theme has been pretty buzzing as far as the entire last 1 year is concerned. A lot of rally has unfolded. Of course, it was the peak power demand of last season that really led to this entire rally, and again we are approaching the hot summer months, at least here in Delhi, and of course in Mumbai as well, where you are in. And of course there's the IMD reports that we will be all awaiting today at 2:30 p.m. with expectations on the heat wave and on monsoons. Are you looking at this theme clearly?
Yes, this entire theme and some of the stocks which are related have been quite a lot in focus. Now, from this entire power and heat wave related, theme that we're talking about, Voltas is one stock which is quite strong and
Mm-hmm.
holding on to the higher zones. This is one stock to look out for. Now, Power Grid is one stock, which is showing signs of reversal, and one should look out for this stock. But then again, this is a conditional trade over here for Power Grid, because it should hold above 280 for strength to build over here and to sustain over here. So these are the two stocks which are looking quite positive from this space and can be watched out for.
Okay, got that. Well, thanks a lot, Shivangi, for being with us on this very special edition and sharing all your wonderful insights on various stocks and strategies for investors. Good to have you with us. And now we are talking about the election space at this point in time. There were questions that were floating as to which stock should one be really holding at, but it's time to really look at the Bharatiya Janata Party, which released its manifesto yesterday and did say that it will continue on the path of fiscal prudence and stay committed to expanding India's economic strength after forming the government at the centre following the Lok Sabha elections. To help us really understand more, my colleague now Karishma Sudani joining in, who tracks the Ministry of Finance pretty closely. Karishma, do tell us as to what is the glide path that BJP is promising in its manifesto now.
Well, Sakshi, the big news that's coming in from the BJP's manifesto is the fact that it's going to keep its fiscal consolidation in place. That it is confident of the fact that its numbers are going to hit right on the spot in terms of the fiscal deficit target of 5.1% that it's aiming for FY25 and a glide path of 4.6% for FY26. It's also looking at a GDP growth of 7% for this fiscal year, despite the fact that it has come up with so many of its manifesto points, be it its Big Bang announcements on infrastructure, making India a global manufacturing hub by 2030, including senior citizens under Ayushman Bharat for the above the age of 70, or also, of course, doubling the Mudra loans. Government is confident of the fact that it is going to make India as one of the third largest economies, and they've reiterated this fact that they've got India from fragile 5 to first 12.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Karishma, for all that update, and we'll continue to watch out for this space going forward, of course, as elections really take center stage. With that, viewers, it's time to wrap up this special edition for you. But do remember, this is a daily show that we will be getting you from Monday to Friday to answer your stock queries, and this will be the aim to address all your investors' concerns through this show on Business Today Television's newest edition on Market Today. So do stay tuned. In fact, you can mention your stock market queries on the WhatsApp number that's flashing on your screens, 730-308-0488, and you can send in your question via the audio, video or the text format. What you need to give out your name, location, wherever you're calling in from. You give us your contact details along with your question that we will be taking every day with top stock market experts so that you can get the right guidance with respect to your stock portfolio.
Let me ask, before I open it up to the audience, Dr. Parag and to Dr. Leary. We've talked about a lot about economic growth, lots of figures. Being a journalist, let me introduce politics.